Okay, I want to say hi again, everybody. Hi, how you doing? I've got a new art video here for you guys. Whether you like my art or you hate it, don't worry, because I feel a bit of both about myself sometimes too. I mean about my artwork. Sometimes I hate my artwork too. But I think that's the same with all artists, if I'm allowed to fall under that category. Mind you, like when it comes to art, hold on, hold on one second. Someone's missing me there. I've heard it said that if you sneeze, someone's missing you. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, look, I've got a really good screen recorder software up here. I've not got my webcam open, but I can take my time and record for any length of time using this screen recorder. I've got my microphone set up to a good volume. This picture you're looking at on the screen right here is just a picture that I done, a rough random picture. God knows what it is. I mean, a rough load of there's just some rubble, some scenery here, some stone looking structures and just crap really. But I was just sketching away. I love to do these sketchy doodles. I like painting and I like drawing, but I feel I'm better at drawing. Well, I want to improve my painting. In this video we're going to do a painting, okay? Before that though, I'm going to show you some more of my drawings slash paintings, or like drawings with colour in, So let's have a look. I mean, there is a style of painting that is known as like watercolour, line and wash, I believe it's called, and I do like that too. I mean, most of what I do is digital on the computer, as I say, it's done on the computer using different softwares. One of my favourite free art softwares is called Fire Alpaca, and I'll be using it again for this video too. Thank you, by the way, for anyone who sits and watches my videos. Also, I do some time-lapse, like speeded up versions too, which I also include my own music in and stuff. I hope they come out in good quality, these videos. I hope you enjoy them for what they are. I'm going to get on with it. Hold on one second, just finishing what I'm saying here. So yeah, I was going to say I do have Photoshop also, and again, when it comes to art, everybody's got their own style or styles. I find I have many styles, and let's just get on with this. Okay, so this is one picture here that I've done fairly recently, and here's another one I just did a little earlier. Here's one I made earlier. I literally made this a little earlier on, and if you look on my channel, you'll see there is a video of me making this in time lapse. Okay, sped up, and it's not the best, but whatever. Takes practice, I guess. Let's look at this next one here now. This is another one I did, another rough one a few nights ago. And now let's just turn this off now and get the software up. Okay, so this is Fire Alpaca. I'm just going to turn off that image there. Turn off everything in the background and just let's get on with this. Okay, so I'm using I've got a couple of things. I've got like this. When it comes to pens, I've got a few different pens, but 4 actually. 2 for one thing and 2 for this thing. Basically, I've got this pad, Wacom, whatever you call it. That was the first thing I was using for quite a long time. I still have it and everything, it works fine. But I've also got this bigger screen, which I can actually draw on the screen. I can use the pen and draw as though I'm drawing directly onto paper, And it's all digital, so let's get on with this, okay? Hopefully this will come out clear, What am I going to do? Right, okay, so yeah, let's get on with this, okay? Sometimes, occasionally, I'll go to the mouse, and go back and forth, but, my idea is this time is to do, like, some kind of little scene, by the sea, like some little houses, overlooking the sea, well, let's just see. I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna see whatever comes to mind. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So first off, I think what I'm gonna do is go with some rough colour, like blue, yellow. I like to do this. I like this first, like setting in a bit of a colour, some colour themes, some yellow. So I know I want yellow in this angle. For this picture, I already know roughly the kind of scene that I'm looking for, which is a good thing, right? So that's the good thing. A lot of times I don't, but this time I do. and that's either a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes I like surprising myself, you know, but for this one, yeah, I've got a rough kind of scene in my mind that I want to go for, you know. Let's just see what we can do. Okay, so I've got some colour there. I can bump that up, like saturation wise, if I want, but I don't want to do that because I really want this one to be more realistic. So this time, rather than going in with a sketch first, any lines, there's going to be no lines. It's going to be an actual painting. This is going to be an actual painting, and that ding dong sound you just heard was the sound ding dong. That's my pen hitting the microphone, not the microwave. So I'm going to put that a little bit back there. Okay, let's get on with this now. Okay, let's do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start literally choosing colours that I want and working with the colours that I want. I think the first thing I should really do is let me think about this. Put some ground in, really. That's something I should do. I think I'll do that later on. So I'm going to start with the buildings, right? And although I'm working on different layers, we're going to make it. We're going to make this like maybe with one layer, just working the layer basically as we go. And already I'm not liking this already because I've kind of gone with like my habits of going with a lower opacity pen, like not full opacity, and that's sometimes good if you want to do certain things, but I don't know for this. I think I should have it on full opacity really, but then if you do that you don't see much. So alright, I'm going to go with a low opacity there, like I was gonna. Okay, so going in. This might not look like much now, but what I'm going to do is start blocking in shapes. I'm even speaking like an artist now. Blocking shapes in, okay. Might not look anything now, but wait till you see it later on, yo. Okay, so we've got a wall over here. I know what I want. I know the kind of scene I want. Okay, I'm going to need I'm shaping the area now. I know you don't understand what the heck I'm talking about. These are going to be like little villas like you see in Spain, alright? Because I've got some memories of a time I went there, and I'm going to try and recreate something like that, okay, along the lines of this. So to my brother Wayne, if you're watching, this is check this out. I mean, this is not going to be exactly like, I can't remember exactly what the villas were like last time I went there. I've only been there once, as I say, but it's something like that, you know. I'm going to start blocking in some shapes of some houses and stuff, like the little houses they had. This is quite fun actually, doing it like this. This time I'm not like going in too much for detail. I'm just literally blocking in stuff. And if I remember rightly, this is not spot on, but I remember there was like orange roofs and things like that. You know, yeah, something like that. Okay, so we're going to go in, and I need to still keep in mind those. I need to keep in mind the. I need to keep in mind the. I don't even know because I just can't remember what I was going to say. To be honest with you, I've got to keep in mind something. If you ain't gonna keep it in mind, you gonna forget that shit. I swear it now. Again, that looks a little bit too. There we go. Oh, I love the way that I don't have to worry about the timing. So usually I use another software for this to record the sound, you know. Yeah, so it's a good thing that I don't have to worry now, because I can like take longer to speak and take my time, you know. It's a great thing. So it's a great thing, it sure is. So what do I have? I like to take note of what I'm doing here. I mean, the heck am I doing? I've got like full opacity on this layer. We're working everything on the one layer here, or apart from the actual background itself. We've not painted the ground in yet. Okay. And probably do some trees and stuff in a minute. And we're going for a, it's just really rough, we're just blocking everything in. And, you know, got full opacity, various opacities for the pens. I'm just going totally free, basically. I'm just randomly picking the oranges here. Look, even going in like that, now you can see we've got some more detail just going there. So I'm going to go like a circle there, like just add the ends on to that. See, yeah, that probably works even better actually. See, like teaching myself stuff. See, it doesn't matter if it's a bit broken. I like it when they're a bit like broken up like that. The line's not perfect because it makes it look like the tiles and stuff, you know. And I'm going to add darks and stuff in a moment. Okay, this will be the roof, what do you call that, the spine of the roof, if you like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer underneath that so we don't mess that up. Oh no, I can't do that because they're on one layer. Oops. Okay, it doesn't matter. Go on to that one layer there. Okay, but you know what I mean, just following the layer. And again, when it comes to perspective, see, perspective, I'm not actually going with the perfect perspective, I'm just going absolutely random here. And that the fact that it's not on a full opacity, this pen here, this orange I'm using, you know, it actually is helping because it's showing what's through underneath and stuff, you know what I mean. I'm just doing some lines here, you know, lines that you can, whatever that's going to be, shadow or whatever, you know. I'm going to go over here like that, just do whatever we can, I guess, you know. Few lines in, you see what I'm saying though, getting that viewpoint. These tiles as well, as I say, you can do various things with the tiles, you know. And this darkness I'm using here, the dark shit, is giving you know, some I don't know, some area, some character to it, I don't know, some shading and stuff. Bit messy, I know, but you know, it's alright, you know, it's alright. I'm trying to make it real by having, realistic by having some of that detail in there, you know. And you start playing with the contrast and stuff later as well, that helps a lot. And even look at this now, see, as I'm doing this, it's like adding shadowy effects and stuff in, because I'm going onto the white. That was an accident, going onto the whiter areas there, but the actual fact that it was actually working, like you see, it's funny because like you teach yourself to paint. And again, like even that line I just had there, that was an accident. I'm going to try and follow the great artist Bob Ross's advice and say, you know what, that's a happy little accident. I'm going to make that into part of the painting, you know. And I'm still using some of my drawing skills here. I'm actually going in for like lines, if you notice. I'm trying to still treat it as though it is a bit of a drawing, you know. Okay, now here obviously you're going to see some more detail, so you'll be careful here. So we don't want to make it look like scribbly lines like I've just done. Oh, oops, okay. Okay, so but we're going to have something there right, to show the tiles. Okay, oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. Thanks for watching, guys. It means a hell of a lot. See, again, that's like really lazy. That was really, really lazy. So what are we doing in a moment? Oh, I've got it going now. See, sometimes you can scare yourself. I think really that was okay. See there, see, sometimes some of these darks, they actually help. So just sketching in shadow and stuff, and you're afraid, I was afraid like to turn it into a drawing as such and not a painting, but the thing is these lines are actually helping, see, to do that, so to make it into just details where shadow is and stuff. So even over there you can see where I've been afraid to do it. Bearing in mind it's further away from us, so we don't want to go too over the top. And also at the same time we don't want to make such a mess. We don't want them to look super dirty. But now talking about dirty, I'm going to go with a very low opacity here. Very low opacity, visibility, and go a little bit darker along these walls here. Go take it down to 2 if we can. 1 or 2. Okay, we'll leave it on 1. Even 1, yeah, let's see. We've got darker colour. And I'm putting some marks on this. We'll go for a 3. I think we'll go for a 3. We're going to have to put some windows and doors on this in a moment. And I'm going to make it a little bit darker here, so you add in a bit more on that. So you've got to remember like which areas are in the shadow, which areas are in the light. We've not got a light source yet. We don't have a light source as such yet, you know. But I've decided slightly what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some shadow there, just behind these, in between here, see? It's here. It's a little bit too dark. I think it's a little bit too dark there. Sometimes the subtle stuff actually works better, you know. But that's okay. See, look, doing that, see, we'll see how we're going to work it. Okay. So then I'll do this on this side here. Okay. Good. Right. So we can have some like even darker areas on these sides then, knowing that those little areas are really in the dark, you know, so to speak. Okay, so that's giving it some 3D if you like. Put a bit of shadow there, even on the ground, even though we don't have the ground yet as such. We're going to start to add some ground as well here. I'll do some marks and stuff. Bring that down a little bit. Put something there. We may change the colour in a moment. I can see some issues there with that also. Well, we can put it under there, can't we? And you're done. Okay, so we've got some ground there as well now, you know. Different areas, and we'll give it a different colour as well. Today I'm literally just playing with colours, basically, today. I really am playing with colours. And don't worry, we're going to carve some windows in a moment, okay? I'm going to go onto here, and I'm going to give a white wall, and there's a reason for that in a moment why I'm going to do that. The reason being, because I'm trying to get it a little bit closer to one of my memories of a place I went to a long time ago, okay? And Wayne, my brother watching, if you know this, you know about this. It doesn't look exactly right. I mean, it was a more narrow path, I think, but still, you know, which is a good point. I mean, I could even play around with this area here and just cut this part out. We're on the right layer, don't worry. And go to that, turn off the highlight, and then we can reshape this here, you know, if I wanted to do that, and have it like a more narrow. The only thing is sometimes that messes up, so we'll go to cancel. We're not going to do that. Select, deselect, but you know, it's all about, you know, exploring. From here we could, it's a bit early on, but I could still play with the contrast a little bit, you see here, but I don't think that's necessary. Sometimes you mess your paintings up by doing that, so leave it like that, because we're working with the natural colours that we're seeing in our mind. And I'm not even doing this in black and white. Like sometimes I'll do this in black and white, you know, straight away, black and white, and then I'll do the colour on top, you know, like do an overlay, blending mode or something, you know. I like the way the ground's coming on here, a little bit dark. We could do a little bit darker, maybe. That's probably a little bit better. You know, do that. I'm going to give it a white wall over the back. There's like another little alleyway, and we're going to see. Basically, we're going to see on this layer here. We're going to see the sea in the distance. Now, I know in the real place where we went to, in the real life, in actual fact, there wasn't. We couldn't actually see the sea, I don't think, from that angle. I'm going to keep this here. Okay. go with another white on top of that. I want to bring this down a bit visibility wise. I want to bring that down as well a bit. Merge that down. Bit dodgy, but still. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. It's going to be like a painting anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll duplicate that. Now I'm going to erase this. Hang on. Nope. So you've got to try different things. So I'll bring this down slightly darker. Slightly darker. Slightly darker. And I'll erase the top part of this. I'm trying to get that top of that wall. So. Okay, at least that makes it stand out. Bang. Turn it up a little bit brighter, just so we see that. Okay. Maybe it should have been a little bit higher, maybe, actually, but we can do that, that's okay. A little bit higher, drag it up. That's the beauty of the digital software, you know. Do this, so we're going to get some perspective on that a little bit. Okay, good. Not perfectly straight there, but we can just fix that up and make that a bit thinner on top as well. I think that will do if we're going to mess the thing up. As you could have orange like tiles on the top, sometimes they do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go to on top of that ground layer. I'm going to add some yellow, a little bit of yellow. It's not sand as such, but it's like a bit of sand kind of thing going on. You know, see, a bit of that. It's kind of, I don't know, just a bit of yellow. I just feel there needs to be some yellow in there, and I do feel there needs to be some trees and some green. I was going to say that already anyway earlier. I'm going to make some little trees and things areas okay here as well. One other thing I feel I should put here is like a little path or something. Something's telling me I should put a little path or something, and there will be openings, as I say, there will be openings in those doors, okay, those sorry, there will be openings in the on the side there, basically on the wall. Sorry, I know I'm getting distracted here, so bear with me guys, but I'm just saying, you know, so that's there. It's not exactly what I had in mind. It's looking more like a shadow, I think, but right, I guess for the best way to do that would be to lighten that up, and then I don't know, go for a colour or go for something. Go for I still don't know the best way to deal with this thing here, but it is a path. I guess we'll just leave it like that. We'll just leave it like that. I was thinking to have some little tile-like path. It's not too late to do that. I can do that, and I can actually. I'm going to leave some little shines on the roofs as well. Some little shines on the roof. We'll just get those in now. I know it's a bit early for that. It's a bit early for that, Rich. Go to clipping for that to let it match on. Turn down the opacity a bit. What I'll do is I'll do a few lines like that. Let's do a few broken ones. It's alright. What I'll do then is I'll do a few lines, see where the shines will be. Then what I will do is I will from there is I will you know, just clean stuff up. I'll just erase stuff. I mean, I'll show you what I mean now. I'll bring that down even further, a lot further. Yeah, like that, and then just bring bits across. You see, erasing areas to show like certain tiles are shining and others aren't. Certain areas are shining. Otherwise, they just look like straight lines. Even there, it doesn't look great, but I'm going to go with that for now. I'll do it so subtly, so I'm going to just go with that for now. Merge that down. Doesn't look perfect, but still. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding some character to these. I'm going to add some dark for the windows. Being careful, I'm going to go on another layer. So I'm going to add windows. If you see some of these windows when you go to places like Spain and stuff, you'll see, not that I go there often, I'm saying, but you'll see things like in some parts of the world where they have, oh, and don't forget also it would be pretty dark looking, you know, at this time of a day, like you look in, you couldn't really see inside someone's house, but I'm going to say, you know, you will have windows with like little shutters and things, these little shutters that they have on them. These, you know, you'll see what I mean when I draw them in a minute. I'm going to go here slightly darker, just in the shadow, just under here. We've got another little window on the side here. We're going to also have to have our doors. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a little indentation, see where the shadows are, you see like here. And that'll be that, and we're going to have some, maybe some like orange coloured doors, I don't know why, it could be reddish coloured doors. We're just going to go in with those, kind of looking pretty brownish now, aren't they, but it's okay, it's okay. Should do it like that, you see. We could have had two different colour doors, even blue or something funky, like blue colour, a bright, almost like sky blue would have been nice. We're just going to have that for now. I'm going to have some detail on them as well, just some little lines and stuff. Okay, so just draw in on them like that, slightly darker. Some little lines and things, it doesn't really matter what. I'm going to go for a darker, bit of a blackish, darker areas on the window, just to give it some more detail on those windows. And also, again, that's another thing, a very important thing I forgot to do here. I mean, I should have had some little darker shadowy areas on the windows, but that's not too late. We're not too late to add them in, see. So I'm going to do that right now, just very quickly. Okay, just here. You see, just adding those in to get that 3D-ness of it, you know, sort of thing. Like that. We're looking down, don't forget, so yeah, it probably makes sense actually. And they're in the shadow, you know, they're in the shadow. Now, these are kind of darker on this side here. So those little 3D areas are going to help. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have some greenish, maybe some greenish blue shutters, okay? And we're going to do these shutters, and we're going to do it. I'm going to merge, I'm going to bring these slightly down a bit like that. No, have them like that. Merge those down, go onto another layer and do the shutters. Okay. Just like that. Just open up little windows like that, little shutters. So this one's kind of obscured by the wall there. And they open up like this, and I'll draw lines across with black to show the details of those. This window's kind of high, and these windows are kind of like big looking, but it's alright. I'm not going to go edit, undo and all that. This one's just got one shutter on that side there. We could have had little flower pots and things. It's not too late to do that. I may just have a tree with some flowers, like pink flowers or something, you know, on that. I'm going to put some lines in, just a bit fainter in certain areas, just to show the detail where the shadows are going in and stuff. You don't have to do every single detail, but it's like it's good to have a fair amount of detail. You see like how I've done that square bit there, you see around, because without that it wouldn't look as good. I can have a slight little streaks of green too, lighter green, also to give like little lighter areas, you see, to give it a bit more 3D, a bit more depth to it, you see. I can do that on certain areas, you see, to give more detail to it as well, you know, like that. Okay, of course it's going to be a nice blue sky, blue sky we're going to have, you know, obviously. Got this wall here looking a bit funny. Going to merge that down. We're going to go on top. We're going to get some blue. We're going to take it really, really simply, okay? Really simply with this blue. We're going to go with the blue, and we're going to go like this. We're going to go across. Oh, careful there, I've just messed that up. going really naturally, okay, like really across there. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit rough, see, because it's still like a painting anyway, you see. We don't really want to have it too dark, you know. We're going to have a darker, slightly darker area here for the sea, you see, because we can see the sea in the distance, you see. And that's what we're doing. We're going to see the sea because these guys live by the sea, and it's a nice place to live, you know. Oh, it's a gorgeous place to live. These people come out in the evenings and just, oh God, it's great. They go out They go out in the evening and they go onto the beach and just enjoy the fresh air, and it's just fantastic. You know what I mean? And they just love it. I mean, you know, if you've ever lived by the sea, you'll know how lucky it is, and it's great with the fresh air and everything. In fact, where I live right now, I live by the sea, and I don't always have a chance to go down there because we need to raise this a bit higher. But the reason being is too damn busy most of the time. And it's not only that; it's also because it's really hot here. I live in a tropical part of the world, as I say. Now, this ground here still doesn't look nice and brightly yellow. See, we're not seeing any beach or anything here, but it still feels like we need to see some more yellow vibes going on. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have a bit of yellow here. It doesn't matter. Let's just add that in and change it up. It's because this is your world, as Bob Ross has always said. You know, so we can do exactly what we want. In your world, you can make it however you wish to. Now that yellow, I'm going to kind of make it a bit more pale so we can see some detail. I'm going to add some little trees, and I'm going to add some more areas on there, okay, of detail. So let's just merge these together now as one deadly layer. I'm going to go in with some I'm trying to be careful, so I've got to play with that contrast a little bit, but not too much. See, sometimes it can mess things up. See, I could turn the colour down, the saturation a bit like this, but I want to make sure we've got some strong colours. That doesn't matter. We're not going for a cartoony thing, but we want those vibrant, nice colours to be there. Now, okay, so let's go in and let's see what we can do. Okay, so let's go on to the next part of this picture now. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add some little areas. What I want to do is I want to add some little tiles in here. I really want to add some tiles onto the ground here, and just do that. So I'm not going to use any rulers or anything, because I think that would mess the thing up. I'm just going to paint them in. I'm going to paint little areas in like this, because I'm trying to go for a more natural kind of a picture, you know, where it's like literally painted, all natural, you know. These are not like little stones, they're supposed to be square, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. They're not going to be perfect anyway, but we're going for this kind of a thing. I would rather them actually, you know, white, to be honest with you. So yeah, of a lighter colour maybe. But we're going to see what we're going to do. We're going to have some more on this side, so when the people step out of their nice houses, these villas, they can walk on the tiles, and it's just a nice feeling in their sandals. And they got the shades on their face and the hats over their heads, and they're ready. And they're ready to go down to the beach. Little Jimmy's calling his father out now, you know. And they've just had a shower, and they're ready for that nice brand new day that's coming up, you know. And it's just going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. They're going to have a great time. They're going to have a real great time. You know, and doing a few lines here to like cut across, you see, to show some detail, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So you put in these lines across here, so to show that they're square. For the most part, they're square. They've been here for a long time, but you know, got to put that perspective in. Don't forget. Cut this bit up here. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Keeping that perspective in mind. Going on to another layer now, just directly below it. We're going to add some more detail there. Okay, and we're going to just paint underneath that, see, to show, just make those show up more. See. Okay, that's looking more like it. See. Bring those down slightly in the colour there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to merge that down and we're going to make a duplicate of that. Hold on. No, we're going to make another layer, and we're going to clip onto that. We're going to go with white, turn the opacity down slightly, and just start painting on areas you see, like to make those areas stand out, to make a variation on top of those stones here, to make them look like these tiles are, they've got some kind of texture to them or whatever. Okay, so that's coming on. Merge that down now. I'm going to duplicate that, bring this one slightly down. Hang on, maybe a little bit like that, and I'm going to go with an eraser, and then I'm going to start erasing areas too of this, so to get some real variation in the whole thing. I'm going to mix those down. You can see already that they're starting to look more like tiles, right? I'm going to go onto another layer now, and I'm going to turn this one to multiply, so it's not a total grey, but more like a lower opacity. Okay, more like the colour that's below it, so like a darker version, more like a orange, a yellowish brown. And I'm doing these little marks here to show like it's the ground, it's the dirt or whatever, you know. I'm trying to make it like faint. This is a painting after all, you know. Some areas we can cheat here and make it kind of like it's near the edge, almost like worn or a shadow or something, you know. And that's coming into being. Merging that down now, going on to another layer and going to multiply. I'm going to choose a blue, turn down the opacity, and we still need to do some work, I think, to differentiate the sea from the sky. But we still need to see a lot of it, and hardly any sky at all, because excuse me, that's an accident. The reason being, the reason being, please excuse me there. Kind of messed that up, didn't I? Okay. The reason being that it's because we're looking down, we're looking more down. We're up high and we're looking down. That's the reason. Okay. Being careful here, because this is a low opacity brush, and if you use a low opacity and not a full opacity, meaning like fully opaque, fully visible, then what you're going to have is every time you layer on top, that's how shading's done, you see, you get that dark, it becomes darker every time you lay a layer on top, you know, of paint or digital paint, right? Turn it down slightly. We don't want a dark picture, we still want it to be very bright, you know. Okay, now you can see actually, if you look carefully, something I didn't realise actually earlier on. I'm going to merge these down now as one. Now, one thing I missed though over here, if you look, zooming in, it's kind of blue on. You've got bluish areas here where they're going on. Okay, this is like an accident. So I'm choosing that orange, just trying to fix it up a little bit here by going over some of those bluer areas, just to make it hopefully not too noticeable. You know. Oh, excuse me. I guess we'll just go with that and merge that down now. Okay, so just cleaning. You see, it's still a little bit messy. You see, okay, just choosing the orange, choosing the oranges, just going over. Just turn up that opacity a bit. Okay, doesn't matter. We're just not going to get it perfect, but just fixing things up the best you can. You know, cleaning up some of this area where the sky is here and this sea line. Okay, good. Add a little bit of white up the top here to make it even brighter, maybe. Just a little bit over there. Okay, good. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go there. We're going to add some more areas of darkness. I'm going to go into another layer, and I'm going to go to overlay. Turn that down slightly. And go to like a brown. Choose this bright brown off of the wall here. And I'm just going to start lightly brushing on some onto the walls here. Might be a bit crazy, you may think, but no. Maybe multiply would be better. Yeah, you want to bet? No. We're going to delete that, make another layer, go to yeah, multiply, go to spray. I'll just go to spray, random bit of spray there. Okay, just giving it a bit of a you know, a dirt, a bit of, you know, being careful with that, because sometimes you can really mess it up. Like I'm almost doing a bit of, see, a bit of that there, that helps, I feel, a bit more, gives a bit more character to it. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, now, okay, that's good. Merging that down, merging this down. Now what I'm going to do from here is, I think what we do need is we need an opening. So I think this is a good place to have like a little gate or something. Now the wall looks like it's a little bit kind of close, doesn't it, to be honest with you, but still, you know, whatever, I think it's okay. Merge these down, make a duplicate of this layer just for 1 second. Make a darker version of this, okay, just for a moment. Bring that below, go on top of that, go there, bang. Erase, low opacity, erase a slight area here to show a little bit of a shadow between the building and this wall. That's what I want to do, and also actually a bit more shadow on the ground here. A bit too dark maybe, but it's okay. It's okay. A bit more marking on the wall there. See, even different variations, and again, also different little marks and stuff like that, little random things, see, actually add to the detail. Other things you can do also is add like some white to areas. Obviously, excuse me, adding some white where necessary, again, to go over those lighter areas, to bring out the light shows the dark and the dark shows the light. Don't forget, you need light to show dark, and you need dark to show light. You need that. Little thin areas and things too, like that on the walls, can bring like some light in. So bring some certain areas. You don't always have to use a dark colour to show cracks and things like that in shape, because the light may be shining in. It may not be the darkness that's shining in. You see, so certain areas like that. See. Okay, going over here. You can just erase as you go along. I'm just pressing Control Z or Z on the keyboard there, just to edit. It's a quick way of undoing mistakes. So I've got my finger constantly on that, and I'm just going across and pressing Control and Alt till I pick colours, things like that, you know, and things like that, and then certain other things like Shift and stuff to select different areas. Okay, going with a dark now. Very light opacity on that dark, so I'm going to put some little details in. It's almost like drawing, you see. And I'm just putting some more dirty areas there down by the ground, and a few little lines and things to show some cracks and things like that, you know. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to do something in a moment anyway. I'm going to carve a hole into the damn wall, okay? So, you ready to do it? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a gate on there. And I think we're going to go for like a greenish, bluish kind of gate, because we're going for that kind of style anyway, right? So, let's go for that. Maybe not exactly the same colour as the those window, what do you call it? Shutters, but still, you know, similar, right? Have some gates. I'm going to put some gates on here. When you see something like this, you think, oh my god, I'm going to mess up the whole picture by doing something like this, especially in certain areas, you know. But the truth is, you're not. You're in control. These are fairly big gates, these are. I think more narrow gates would have been more like the kind you'd imagine, but still, I think it is okay. Hey, with this I can even put some lines on, see some character here, see? As well, and then I can start adding some dark on there as well anyway, you know, just like that, like a bit of shadow. So you may not go in with a total black, that wouldn't look good, a total black, but going in with these, you know, with these you know, these darker colours of what we've got, like green or orange or whatever, show, you know, things. So this is this here. Can like turn that down slightly if I wish to, just like that maybe. If you think the green's a bit too strong, or you want to change the colour, you can simply change the hue, or as I say, I'm adjusting the saturation here slightly. Brightness a bit maybe. I think it should be lighter, darker, whatever. Contrast we can play with, things like that. Contrast, it helps, you know. And then, but again, you know, other things too, like just going on top of that, a lighter greenish colour, adding some, you know, some lighter, what do you call it? Lighter, shiny areas on top. See, that also helps. The light shows the dark, and the dark shows the light. You see, so bear in mind these things. And there we go. That's that part. Okay, now as you can see, I think with this we still have some more problems. Like if I show you, I'll make a duplicate of that. Bring this one down much darker. Bring that below. Go with an eraser, a soft. Gradually erase certain areas. Don't go over the top. See, I've already gone over the top with that. Very soft, a very what's the word? Faint eraser. See, gradually just erase areas, just to show those shadowy areas more. You need those to bring out the 3D-ness of it. You see. Now this may look like a piece of crap for some people, I don't know. But I'm just doing what I can. I'm just doing what I can, you know. And again, see, even like here, going in and being brave and doing some like little drawings. Sometimes that can mess your thing up, but like doing some sketchy little thin lines. You may be afraid that you're going to turn it into a drawing, but no, sometimes those lines can just work as thin, shadowy areas, you know, that just make the whole thing stand out. See? Look, see how I'm doing that on the ends there, and it's just like, you see, it's actually bringing it out into something better in some way, see? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you know. Turning that one up a little bit slightly if you think it's too dark. You know? And you can see how all these different layers play off each other. I wouldn't go for too much distance always when you're far away, you see, like that. But at the same time, it can, you know, you still can, you may see that, you know, and it will still bring some detail as such, you know. It depends. You got to just judge it by the picture, you know. In some other little areas of darkness here and stuff, on the walls as well, just whatever I can to just bring out any detail here, see? Okay, I'm going to merge that down now. We still need our flowers, our pink flowers and trees and stuff, don't we? So let's go on to another layer, okay? I'm going to choose a brown colour. Even though I'm going to choose a brown colour. I'm going to go from behind here. I'm just going to literally paint a tree on. And go there. And I'm kind of just really roughing it. I was going to go for like a 2D like thing and turn the camera maybe like I did before. Turn the the perspective of it to like make it 3D-ish, like I did in another painting that I did recently. But I thought no, I'll just go for it. Just see how you feel, you know. I'm going to do quite a few actually. I'm going to do quite a few of these actually here. I'm going to do another one, something or other up here. I don't know why there's so many. I've got no idea. I was going to have like that part with the gate over here. I was going to have that gate area like a kind of, what's the word, like open, like on the path there. Like I was going to have it so that there was like a little open area for we walks onto, but I don't think we need to. I'm going to keep the tiles as they are. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another layer go to clipping for the tree, so that basically means I can only paint on the areas of the layer below it, like, but on this layer. And should be right here. And I'm just going to start painting, like you see for this tree, for example, here. See, I've got to remember where the shadows are. Actually, the shadow here. I'm just giving it some variation. You see here, and again, you know, also things like where the shadows. If you could see the shadows of these trees, which we can't really in this angle, because that's okay, I think, how it is, but you know, that's that. Now I'm going to merge that down. For this one over here, though, I still feel that it needs to be altered, so I've cut that, I've singled out that tree there as such. Okay, and I'm going to just try and play with the transform here, it's called. See the angling of that, you see, to shape it to be more 3D-ish. I don't know, but the thing is, you still got to bear in mind that I did actually shape it around those windows, though, so we didn't cover the windows. I was trying to like do it in the whole process anyway, but the way it was painted. But I think that's okay, just like that. That's okay. I'm not going to go too crazy. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to not give them any highlights or anything. I'm just going to start adding like pink flower areas, like flowers. I'm not going to use any presets. I've just merged those two layers down. I'm going to not go over any presets or anything like that, but leaves or anything. Leaves. I'm just going to literally put some marks, like some little like petals, like, you know, little circles here. Just paint them on, literally. And I'll add, like, again, darker and lighter areas and stuff like that, you know. And this is what we're going to do. Obviously, they're looking a little bit. Maybe you think they're a little bit too bright, but again, this whole picture's like that anyway. See, we don't want to cover up too much detail on our, you know, our windows there. Okay, either. I was going to go for the pink. You know, I wanted to go for the pink. So what we'll do is we'll go for another pink as well, darker pink as well, and vary those up. Not too much. You know, being careful, being very careful. You know, because we need to have some other areas on there to like show other things. Like I'm going to go on another layer below that, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of reddish pink. See here, and I'm going to do that. See, to try and break them up. See, to show different areas. Okay, different areas. You see, to just let the other colours stand out, kind of like what I said about the dark and the light helping each other. You know, but it's like we're doing this with the colour also sometimes. See, another thing I can do is add some just a few, not too many, but some blues. You could even add yellows if you wanted to, but I don't think we need too much blue, and we don't need too much yellows. I mean, I could have some over here. See, what I could do is I could have some flowers over here, like to indicate maybe there's a tree nearby over here as well, you see. Things like that, like just coming over the top of this, you know, here, maybe some more flowery type shapes and stuff as well. You know, just putting that on there and just have them there, you know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge those two layers down. I'm going to make a darker version of that, make it darker, just darker really. I want it just darker. Then I'm going to go there and I'm going to, with the eraser, with the hard eraser I think, and just start erasing basically. Hang on, we need to still make that even darker yet to show them up. It's funny. That's a weird thing. That is. I'll put it a bit lighter. We'll see. Hang on. Maybe we didn't need this dark one anyway. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's just leave it like that. Okay, so what I can do is go to a new layer, go to clipping, and start adding some little bits of detail to it, of a thin white. Maybe you think that's a bit crazy, but it's not really. Lower opacity, maybe. Putting some like little shapes and things. You see, just to show. So we're not going to have too much detail, obviously, but certain things here will give some detail. You see to this, okay? So we're going to have that. Have it. I'm going to go to blur, blur it slightly. It's okay. I was going to have some more shadowy areas too in them, but I don't think we need to. That amount of detail would be a bit overdoing it, I think. We can actually blur these flowers themselves a little bit too. See, that makes it nice, I think. And you see soft against the buildings. The buildings too, I think, this whole scene, I think anyway, we can make a little bit, what's the word, a little bit blurry. We can do that, a little bit of a blur maybe. That helps. Yeah, nice, okay. Merge that down as one layer now. Play with the contrast a little bit. Ah, you see? Like something like, not too much, but you see, but like it comes out, see? Now from here I can make, what I want to also do is like maybe put a little flower pot or something here, like a little, something I feel should be on this side here. Maybe just a little bike, somebody's bike maybe? I don't know. Just something here to get the people thinking, you know. And I still don't think that sea is showing up as much as it should do, like the dark sea in the back, but still it's okay as a scene. What I'll do then is I'll add a little wooden basket or something here, just to have something in the scene. Make sure you're on the right layer always, please God, make sure you're on the right layer. A little basket here, a little basket, I don't know what's in the basket. Maybe some apples or some fruits or something, okay, in the basket, you know. Here like this, juicy enough to eat, okay. And a little, you know, the little handles will be there. You can put some little areas on the basket, like little lighter areas you see, like this, and like things like that, you see. Remembering which side the shadows are on, put in some darker areas here, like on this side, bit of something like that. Not just killed that fruit there, hold on. Okay, right, so that'll be like that, something like that, right. From here, what else I can do is, of course, I'm going to blur that up. Blur it up, yeah. Not too much, a little bit. And I'm going to turn up the, play around with the contrast and the brightness and stuff for that. See, we didn't even need to do much, that's just okay as it is, let's see. And that's something we've got there, you know. Okay. Pretty okay. Brightness, playing with that brightness a little bit there. Which is another thing, I think, too, over the back there. We can kind of play around with the brightness of that whole thing. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to play around with the transform. I love the way it does that. Just gives you the selection just for that area. Good. For the scene here. Of the scene here. And basically, from this, sorry about that sound there. That's something. Now, for this, okay, what I can do is change the make a duplicate of this layer, make it brighter, okay, just ever so slightly brighter, ever so slightly. Just make it fainter. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Okay, okay, there. Put this below, and then get a very soft eraser, very soft and very faint, and just go over that there, just to make that like look a little bit further away. I mean, you don't really need to make it that further away. I'm going to go over this as well, just to give a bit of an effect here, but you see what I mean? It makes the whole thing like nice and soft, especially in the back there. You want to make sure that those are fainter areas over the back there, definitely. And it makes it a bit more realistic, as opposed to being too strong. If you have too strong colour, too much, like the colour is too strong and the contrast way up, and that it just doesn't do it any justice. Okay, I've got that there. Now I've merged those down, and I am going to play with the contrast a bit more now to see what we've got. We were just basically trying to balance the thing out. That's what we were trying to do. If I do this, see, it's either going to look one way or the other. Now, what I'm going to do now is, okay, we're not going to have too much play around on the contrast there. What I'm going to do is make a darker version, make a duplicate, go to the tone curve. Okay, play with that. See how I love the way this tone curve does this kind of effect here. It can give. Sometimes you can get some really nice different effects, especially for like darker scenes or like sunset scenes and things. You know. See, that looks pretty realistic for like a nighttime, a darker evening kind of scene. But I'm not going for that. See, I'm going to just have this, choose a low eraser, and then just go over the top like this, and it just makes it a bit more realistic when it's like darker, closer towards you, almost like one of those, what do you call those, vignette things. So I'm going over that. Can't even pronounce the damn word, but you know what I mean. And that just makes it a bit more realistic there, see. Now what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to merge these two layers down as one layer, and I'm going to choose a blue. Okay, the way I'm doing that, by the way, is holding Alt, to choose the colour. Okay, I'm going to choose blue, a very light blue. I'm going to go onto another layer. Always remember to go onto another layer. Go to spray. Okay, and I'm going to go for glow. Or in this software it's called hard light. Okay, in Fire Alpaca, go to hard light on a new layer. I'm saying turn the opacity slightly lower. Choose a pen, choose a spray, like a soft spray, and just paint over. You need to be careful though, okay, sometimes, like, see, I've gone over those flowers there, that was no good, see, to do that, see. But you've got to be careful in what areas you want to do it. Remember, the light shows the dark, and the dark shows the light, okay. So I'm trying to just go over just to show some certain areas, but I don't even think we need to do it. You just experiment as you go along, just try different things, is what I'm trying to say, okay. Now from here, you may want to do other things, like I might merge those down, make another layer, the same sort of thing, go to hard light, and I'm going to choose maybe like a yellow, it could be, for like a bit of sun or something, if you wanted to do that. You see, a bit of a sun, see, from here. It's on hard light, okay. And you can imagine the sun is like shining a bit, but that's wrong though, because the shadow, you have to remember where the shadows are on the buildings. On this side, so this should be on this side, right? Really, but that's already too late now. There's nothing we can do about it now. So we can do a bit of that. See, a little bit, a few things. Put a bit of yellow. Let's see, a little bit of a yellowness. It just makes it feel a little bit like it's a sunny day or whatever, you know, something like that. You know, and they've got that feel, nice warm feel to it. See, a bit more, a little bit more yellow, just helps it, you know. Because if it's too grey and too dead, that's not the happy feeling we're trying to get. So I'm going to merge those down, okay. Okay, now I'm going to do something. I'm going to go onto another layer, and I'm going to choose literally a yellow and two colours on this thing here. Yellow and like a reddish, orangish, yellowish. I think it's too much orangish yellow. But we're gonna do it though. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. We can change things anyway. I've got this gradient thing here, and I'm going to go over the top like that. Have the yellow more closer to the sun. Go there. Go to on another layer. Go to colour. See, it doesn't always work, so you just try different things. Go over. See, it doesn't work always very well, but you go there. Go to overlay maybe. Doesn't work. See, multiply is not going to work. Might look a bit realistic, but it's not what we want. So go to colour. I would say let's go for that now. And just see what we can do. I'll merge those down, then play around with the hue, go to saturation. See, you can do things like that, you see, and that's a bit more, so it's not perfect, but a bit better, you see. Now I'm going to play with the contrast a bit more, you see, you go things like that. You can just do all kinds, just try different things, you see. You can do that, but we don't want to do that. So, okay, right, we can do this. Making it soft. It's a painting, it's not a drawing, it's a painting, this one, right? Go here. See, it's a bit faint, bit like it's not super sharp, see, and it makes it like more realistic, like the sun's shining and it's like it's a scene, you know. So playing with the contrast again, see, don't it too much, too high, see. If I bring it too far down, that's no good either, see. It might look realistic maybe like that, you see. But we don't want to have that. We don't want to have it like that. So you could try two different things. You could do that, and you could play around with the contrast. But we're going to go with it like this. On this warm glow, it's a summer's day, sunny day, you know. And that's what we're going to go for. Right? We can do that there. Okay, we're going to have that. Now we're going to do one more test, one more thing, and I think we're going to leave this one. I'm going to finish this one today. But before we do that, I'm going to just quickly do it. I'm going to go here to tone curve, similar to the contrast thing, the levels we do, but here again playing with that, Okay, a little bit down maybe. See? And you get all kinds of different effects. You do this. See, I can see some of those whites are too sharp there looking, but still, you know. You'll see what I'm going to do in a moment. So we're going to have that just for now for a test. To go for a soft eraser and just erase over until you get the effect what you're looking for. So you can make it bright, show the light through, and it shows the shadow and everything. We should have had a stronger shadow on that basket, I think, down there, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, and if you want to try different things, like again, going with a whole blur, merge those down, go with a whole blur, again, like a bit more of a blur. You don't want to blur all of your artwork out, but you can see what you can do, you know, blur it, again, play with the levels a little bit more, bring up some of them sharps. You need to. I don't think we even needed to do that, to be honest with you, but got it now what it is, you know. I'm going to save that one here. I'm going to save this picture here on a desktop. I've got a folder for my art anyway. Okay, that's good. I'm going to save that. I've saved it here. Let's look at the picture, the final picture. Here's the final painting. So it looks like maybe in Spain or some country like Spain, yeah. So if you're watching, Wayne, hello Wayne, okay, Wayne, and my mum and Dave, family, okay, and all my friends online, you know who you are, guys. Okay, Demsley, Jason, Shark, everybody, Max, Craig Flippy, Craig Caverney, all you guys. Total Control 187, Max, Jason Stork, your Mountaineers, Bill, Black Sword Shinobi. And anybody else watching, okay? I don't know if you've ever been to Spain before. This is not my best picture. I'm not. I was going to do some more buildings in the back too, on the right-hand side there. This could be a quiet little place with some little villas, you know. It's like a quiet little scene. I just randomly did this from my mind. I had this image in my mind, okay, and I thought I would just do a little painting like this tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it, okay. And I'll be doing more paintings and more drawings to come, okay? I hope you enjoy the videos, hope you enjoy the martial art videos, the music, the little movies, my paintings, everything, drawings, okay? Animation, artwork, comics, fucking, excuse my language, everything, writing I do. Everybody take care of yourself now. Anyone who's enjoyed this, thanks a lot, and take care of yourself. Have a lovely day or a lovely night. And next time you're on a holiday, see if you can take a nice photo like this. And if you would like to show me any of your artwork, I'd love to see that too. Take care of yourselves and goodbye. Train hard and stay safe.